You think you know what a killer whale is. You've seen them at SeaWorld. You've watched them splash tourists and do backflips for fish. You've seen the documentaries where they look majestic and peaceful gliding through Arctic water. That animal is a lie. The real orca is something else entirely. Something that has no natural predators anywhere on Earth, that hunts great white sharks for sport, that has a culture, a language, and a memory that lasts decades. Something that has never once in recorded history killed a human being in the wild. Not because it can't, because it has chosen not to. That distinction should terrify you more than any attack ever could. Let's establish something first. The great white shark, the animal that is starred in every ocean nightmare humans have ever had, is not at the top of the food chain. Orcas are. And we know this because orcas hunt great white sharks. Not occasionally, not in rare, desperate moments of starvation. Deliberately, strategically, for the liver. When orcas arrive in an area, every single great white shark leaves immediately. Scientists tracking great whites off the coast of South Africa documented this in real time. The moment two specific orcas named Port and Starboard appeared, the sharks vanished. Not for a day, for months. An entire population of apex predators, animals with no natural enemies, abandoning territory they had occupied for years because two orcas showed up. Port and Starboard are famous among researchers for one specific reason. They have developed a technique for extracting shark livers with surgical precision. They turn the shark upside down, inducing tonic immobility, a paralysis response that sharks cannot control, and then they open the body cavity and remove only the liver, leaving the rest. They do this not out of desperation. The liver is simply the most nutritious part, so they take it and leave the rest behind. This is not instinct, this is knowledge, passed down, refined over generations. Orcas have dialects, not just sounds, dialects. Each pod, each family group has its own specific set of calls that are distinct from every other pod. Orcas from different groups that live in the same waters, eating the same food, swimming the same routes, do not share a dialect. They develop and maintain their own. Scientists have documented this across multiple ocean populations, and the conclusion is deeply uncomfortable. Orca communication is not just noise. It is structured, it is learned, and it is cultural. Baby orcas spend years learning the specific dialect of their family. Adults correct them. The sounds are taught, not inherited. What this means is that somewhere in those clicks and calls is information. We don't know what information. We don't know how complex it is. We have been trying to decode it for decades, and we have made almost no progress. There is an entire language happening in the ocean right now that we cannot understand, spoken by animals that are actively watching us every time we enter the water. And here is the part that should keep you awake. Orcas have been observed changing their behavior based on whether or not they are being watched by humans. They behave differently when researchers are present. They are aware of being studied. They respond to it. In 2016, a researcher named Deborah Giles was working off the coast of Washington State when an orca she recognized surfaced near her boat. The orca's name was Tahlequah. They had interacted before, years earlier. Tahlequah remembered her. Orcas remember specific humans across years and decades. They remember boats. They remember locations. They remember experiences. The matriarchs of orcapods, females who can live past 90 years old, carry decades of accumulated knowledge about the ocean, about prey locations, about weather patterns, about humans. When the matriarch dies, the pod's survival rate drops measurably, because the knowledge dies with her. This means orcas are not just intelligent, they are wise. They accumulate experience and transmit it. They grieve. Tahlequah became internationally known in 2018 when she carried her dead calf on her rostrum for 17 days and over 1,000 miles. Researchers called it a tour of grief. She would not let go. Other pod members took turns supporting the calf when she needed to eat. They mourned together. An animal that grieves, that remembers, that teaches, that has culture, that chooses not to harm you. What exactly do you think it would be capable of if it chose differently? In the wild, male orcas live around 30 years. Female orcas live past 90. Their dorsal fins stand straight and tall, sometimes 6 feet high. In captivity, male orcas rarely survive past their teens. Their dorsal fins collapse completely, flopping to one side, a physical symptom of psychological breakdown that has no equivalent in wild populations. In over 50 years of captive orca observation, this has never been reversed. SeaWorld's orcas have killed 3 people. Tahlequah alone killed 3 trainers across his lifetime, the last being Don Brancho in 2010, one of the most experienced trainers in the facility's history. In the wild, in all of recorded human history, there was not a single confirmed fatal attack on a human by an orca. 0. The only orcas that have ever killed people are orcas that were taken from the ocean and imprisoned. Think about what that means. The only time an orca has ever decided a human should die is when humans took it away from everything it knew, isolated it from its family, put it in a concrete tank, and made it perform for food. Even then it took years. Even then it was rare. The patience involved in that restraint is more frightening than any shark attack ever filmed. So here's what we know about orcas. They are the apex predator of every ocean on Earth. They hunt great white sharks for specific body parts and leave the rest. They have a language we cannot decode. They remember individual humans across decades. They grieve their dead. They transmit culture across generations. They are aware when they are being watched. And they have made a choice, collectively, across the entire species, across all of recorded human history, not to kill us. We don't know why. We have no idea why. And that is the most terrifying thing about orcas. Not what they do, what they could do, and haven't yet.